Hey, welcome everybody to my chess stream here. It's Monday on Lead Chess and Twitch. International Master William Paschall, aka Slaggy, here with my mascot, the Panda. Hey, nice game yesterday. Who won? Yeah, the guy who played h4 on move 5, of course. h4 rocks. Good luck, everybody. So, Pondo was very excited that the one winner, of course, from the simul yesterday was the guy who played h4 on move 5. Yeah. We had a disagreement, though. My friend, International Master David Vigorito, he was of the opinion, Saul, that I thought about this for a long time when you played h4. But David, as I thought, maybe I should have played knight f6 instead of e6. He's kind of an expert in these sort of structures, so I asked him, and he said knight f6 is like just good for black. So knight f6, if you play e5, I play knight h5. I was thinking about it over the board, but I decided to play e6, which isn't quite as good. But anyway, onward and upward, guys, with some casual, rapid, and blitz here. We're going to take challenges, mostly from the subscribers first, and then non-subscribers. Got no subscriber challenges at the moment, so I'll take this game against Arsenal fan. Normally I take subscriber challenges first, but I don't have any subscriber challenges, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with this former subscriber challenge. Subscribers, get in the list, and you can play first. Arsenal fan has a chance to play if he shows up in the next 45 seconds or so. He can go ahead and have the first game. I don't want to lose the first game of the stream again. Well, you can wait a long time, or you can play now. You're lucky to get to play first because you're not a subscriber, but there was nobody else in the list. Now the subscribers are jumping in. So Arsenal fan jumped over the subscribers when they weren't looking. Yeah, well, I mean, you can always have the built-in excuse. If you lose the first game, oh, I wasn't warmed up. So, let's see what we've got here. S4 says I'm challenging you. Yeah, but you're a little bit... You just blinked. We'll take Asterbane and S4. You guys are faithful subscribers who supported the stream a lot. Okay, bishop f5 now. Gonna play c4. It's not the only way to play, but it's a bit more dynamic than d3. So what's up, guys, in the chess world? Anything interesting happening in the chess world? So now, I mean, I guess we have a choice here. It is possible to play b3. Maybe we'll play b3 against Arsenal Day. I'm usually playing a lot of queen b3, but it's pretty insipid. After queen b3, queen b6, ow. I just had a neck injury that I wasn't planning on. That felt good. You turn your head like an inch and there's this cracking sound. Not a good feeling. Alright, let me close this down here so we can focus on the game. I think my internet is better, which is good news. Arsenal with a timely h6 just in case of h4. This is a very standard setup. London system reversed, if you like. You can call it that. Wow, Saul donated 500. Nice game yesterday. Well, it was our classic 100 cent upon loss kind of game. But you understand what happened. Can I do 720 pixels instead of 616? Tamalir? I'm not really sure. My ting Pime is good. Well, it's good for compared to how it was. I'm at 100. So, we're around 100, which is normal. Kind of normal. I don't have a fast internet, but it's like good for an average internet connection. Anyway. No, thanks for the donation, Saul. Thank you so much. 500 from Saul. And anyone who So anyone who cheers any amount of bits is going to get free football emotes. Acerbate with 49, Saul with 500. Thanks so much. The chip leader for the week. Acerbate's in second place. Guys, I really appreciate the donations. Keep in mind, however, that I am not going to be streaming. Why do I keep losing my... I know what's wrong. Okay, I have to adjust this window. I have to adjust the window. This may affect our view. Just bear with me for a second here. While I modify the window capture. Alright, that's better. I had it set up kind of weird there, so that looks okay. That's almost okay. Yeah, let's just adjust this. That looks okay now. Lock it in there. And we're back to good. Okay, now I can see the chat and do everything simultaneously. Oddly enough, Arsenal fan, I used to love to play this many, many years ago. Alright, I'm going to go ahead. What am I going to do here? I'm going to go ahead and play this professional move, 95. It seems like trading. You faster net, I get 100 ping to East. US pages and games. Eastern US. In the EU, that's nice. 95, it trades a set of pieces, kind of freeing my position a little bit. But it might get a little closer to a draw. But it opens up my bishop on G2, so that's a good feature. You know, one assumes that when we see this move rook to C8, he's going against CD and also maybe preparing C5. He is crossing one plan of mine here. So, no streams till Sunday. Exactly, guys. I'm sorry about that, but my family's coming. My family's coming over. I haven't seen them in a month, so I'm gonna spend the week, the midweek in Boston with my family, and then everybody's gonna move down here, and we're gonna be back to business on Sunday. So no streams Tuesday through Friday this week. We're gonna be back to a full-time schedule starting Sunday simul again. Alec K, what's up, everyone? Now queen c7. Well, I think we should just trade. That was the plan. Get rid of one piece, get a little more mobilization going on. Very solid setup here for both sides, really. Week off. Not a whole week, just half a week. Yeah, important stuff. Don't forget the family. Chess is one thing, but there's more things in life. Okay. Saul says, what, 10 today? No lost game. It's my bet. I look fit. I just took a shower. So it's not that I'm more bald than usual. My hair is just kind of slicked back because it's wet. So I don't want any comments about I should shave my head from Bob and I'd look better. You know, it's my hair is wet and I'm just, you know, straight out of the shower. So, not that I'm more balding than usual. I've had the same level of baldness for a long time. All right, guys, let's get this rook in the game, maybe with rook b1. All the pieces in the game. What's up, JCS? Thought you got a haircut. No, it's just wet, so it's slicked back a little bit. Not as fluffy as my usual fluffy hair. Okay, what's going on here? I like white a little bit. We've got the bigger pawn island. H2, G3, F2. That's very solid, you know. Arsenal fan voluntarily gave up his center with D takes C, and I think it's a concession, you know, and it seems like a small deal, but I have a minority attack with like B5 now. Just realistically, white has a slightly better ending if I trade here. The other option options is to get aggressive. Okay, I didn't really calculate this. He can sack a piece for, 2 pieces for rook and 2 pawns. Maybe he'll go for it. Knight takes d3, pawn takes, bishop takes, queen b3, bishop takes b1, rook takes b1. Technically that's like equal material. He did not do it. I don't have any combos. Combo. Unfortunately, no combos. He's like guarding against combos by putting his rook there. That's weird. Yeah. What's up, Soltigo? Thanks for joining us. It's going to be a long week. I know. I'm sorry, guys, that I will not be streaming for a couple of days. So we may have a combo here. We just take, go there, and grab a pawn. It looks very greedy, but it's a pawn. So I'm going to go for this. Normally sort of bishop-centric, but because his b7 is weak, I'm like eating the base of his pawn chain, essentially. Can't complain about that. Or not. Man, this is just a total fail. That is totally not fair. Well, that sucks. That officially sucks. So now I have to go back. I have nothing. I just traded my bishop off for no good reason. Well, anyway, that's the way it goes. Alright. C'est la vie. My kids, they're not that into chess. But eventually, it's like my father was into baseball and auto mechanics. So, obviously that's why I'm a chess player. It got genetically carried down. So, Arsenal fan. The only thing we have left is our minority attack on the queen side. Arsenal doing a good job. He said he wasn't ready for the first game, but he came with the tactics. Bishop d4, didn't see it. My kids like chess, but I haven't really forced it on them too hard. Bishop d4, also a good move. Unfortunately for me. Just piling up. Great game by Black. He did give up his center, which I don't really agree with. This capture d takes c4. Yeah, actually, Saul, s4, AUL, did win in the simul. An Arsenal fan made a crazy move. What looks like a crazy move. He played a b5. That looks really pretty nutty. Now he's dead on c6. But I'm not very warmed up. Okay, I'm confused again. Just keeps coming up with these sort of surprising moves. What is going on here? Totally unnecessary loss of a pawn for black. He just kind of had to do nothing well there. JCS tough love in the end. Well, I mean, it was a bad hallucination, man. I thought my rook was on an open file. I didn't realize I had an h-pawn. I thought I was playing rook takes h3, and I was just like ripping him apart. And then I was like, oh my god, my rook can't jump over pawns, you know? That was a thing against s4. Otherwise, it was a really good Simul, one of my best last night. But another dynamic move by Arsenal fan. He just keeps finding like tactic after tactic. Intermezzo. All right. Oh, man. Tough customer. He is a tough customer. Not giving up very easily here. I don't know why I'm thinking so long. I have to do something. Really great fighting game. A6 now. It's like the longest game ever. (7-3), pretty long game. This is a very, very long game. It's like gonna go on forever. That's a weird move. Wow. Okay, Arsenal fan, you're over 2,000 now. Only move 44 so far. Maybe it was easier to play bishop takes e6 there. It's like the longest first game I've ever had of my 7-3 games on one of my streams, I think. Has to be like the single longest game ever. Extremely long battle. All right, just 69 moves. Not much. That was neck breaking. Move 11, what's up? So I'm going to be taking subscriber streams first. Subscriber challenges. I don't know where I am now. That game was just too hard. Yeah, I'm using an engine. Let's see. My Centipon loss is probably like 50. Am I using an engine? Let's see. If I was using an engine, you'd have been lost in like 25 moves. We probably let you off the hook almost completely there. I thought you were holding it. See, that's our difference in opinion, Arsenal fan. I think that you're too optimistic. You know, you thought you were better when you weren't, probably. You know, you should probably be happy to draw that game. You're asking me about holding it. Let's see. I mean, was Black ever actually better at any point in this game? Maybe it's possible, but I very much wouldn't be surprised if not. Okay, here we're back to move 37. Obviously, the ending I was better. There was a kind of murky situation there a little bit. You're not the first person to do a 69 move with Arsenal fan. Yeah, it looks like he had equality at one point with d4. When I played d4, Black is holding. Speaking of holding, he's like, you see, this is the difference in positive versus negative attitude. He's like, you have to be an engine to hold that. You have to be an engine to hold that. And you're not an engine, that's why you lost. It looks like you were equal at a couple points, like here and here, but never were you better. Okay, let's move on. So Asterbait is up, 7+3. But it's good to be optimistic. You know, I think my problem is that I'm too pessimistic most of the time. This is the thing that it's a good danger mechanism, but it probably hurts me too. So if you guys cheer any amount, you get football emotes. Don't forget. But you had 2 chances to draw, it looks like. Or at least you were dead equal at 2 points. Alright, Asterbait is up next. That was an insanely long game. What is that, like 20 minutes? We must have played for 20 minutes. Go Asterbait. Where is Asterbait? B6. Okay. B6 is... Yeah, B6 is decent. Especially against knight F3. Alright, let's just play, you know. Let's just play King's Indian attack. See what he does. You know, to me it seems inconsistent to play B6 and then put the pawn on D5 because you're interfering with your own bishop. But whatever, it's not that bad. Mr. Coffee is not here. One of our regulars. He likes to play like D4 and sometimes B3, a so-called Zuckertort type of setup. Alright, I'm going to just play this like a Catalan. But this could transpose into a pretty normal position that can be, you know, how would I say? It could arise by a Queen's Indian or a Queen's Gambit declined of some kind, or Catalan. If I play C4, it can be any of those openings. So there's nothing wrong with Black's position. Absolutely nothing wrong with Black's position. I was thinking about Bishop G5 to try to handle it in a different way. Like, you could do that. But I don't think it's very incisive. Probably I have to go C4. There's Mr. Coffee now. We have a Mr. Coffee type of setup. Now this is a pure Coley-Kotnowski system. Coley-Kotnowski reversed. Asterbait cranking out the moves pretty fast here. And that looks like a totally reliable setup. You know, sometimes they'll play like A6 to stop knight B5. So do I have knight B5 followed by bishop F4 here? If I do, he may have a problem. That appears to be good. H4, a normal idea in this for white. Panda. I don't know, I'll consult the Panda. Panda says yes. Yes. H4, of course. You got Panda excited. Alright, now, nice move. How am I going to get my pawn back, though? I can't do everything at the same time. Need to get my pawn back. My Panda. Didn't expect this move. Kind of annoying. Man. And that's irritating. Wow, he just does that. Damn, dude, that's a good move. Asterbait's used no time. I think Asterbait's just going to take me out here. Well, I mean, I have to try to get the pawn back. I mean, maybe I can grab the bishop pair. And, you know, now he doesn't even have to lose his bishop pair, though. He might be able to move his bishop again. I don't know if that's a good move, but... Nefedov says that he's better now. Keep it up. Is he better? Is he really better, or is it just like maybe equal? One might suspect that D5 may be a mistake. But Queen B4 could allow, that could actually allow A5 profitably for black. I'm not sure if I even want to do that. Maybe we should handle this in a different way. Queen A4, that's weird. It looks weird, but I have some ideas. Yeah, Asterbait, slow down. If I was like controlling him remotely or something. He's got the remote control. He's playing too fast. He's played the whole game in like 38 seconds. What's he doing? He's never played this fast before, has he? I'm trying to force... I think I'm trying to force a square peg into a round hole here. I don't know. Could be an IQ test. I'm just going to go back. This is slow, though. I need some help for Masturbate. This was weird. I can't do everything. I think I don't have a good place for my queen. Probably queen d1 is wrong. Retrospect, I don't know, like anything. Bishop g5, bishop f4, some development of that guy. And I think Asturbate's playing way too fast. You got 7 minutes, which is, as you could see from the first game, a lot of time. I don't know. I'm not really worse here, but I don't think I'm better. I'm in a groggy state. I didn't play today. I was doing gardening. Asturbate just keeps making instant moves. He must have been playing Bullet or something all day. He doesn't even play Bullet. There goes that theory. I'm still groggy, and I'm still trying to drink my coffee. It looks like Asturbate is just doing like a world loser approach. Just move as fast as you can. Pichu says chess backseating. The backseat driver. He's moving instantaneously every move. What is going on here? Well, the whole game has been excellent. I'm not sure about queen d4. I could have played bishop d4 there. This is kind of touch and go. His knight is a bit awkward. No. Asturbate is totally legit. I trust most of my regulars here on the stream. These guys are subscribers, so we don't see any suspicious behavior from the subscribers normally. It's the non-subscribers we have to watch out for. He has a strong game here. The people who subscribe to my stream, they want to improve and they want to get something out of it and learn. So they're not going to cheat. It's the other random people who show up. Okay, but he's played this really well. I am a little groggy. Admittedly, Nefyudov is right. I didn't play it all today. I have a lot of stuff going on outside of chess with my family coming to visit and helping my mom. I was like doing yard work today. Go to drawn ending. Do you think like you can tell him that like he understands what ending you're talking about? You know, he's not as experienced as you, Pavel. Instantly see the drawn ending. No, there's no drawn ending. I don't know what Nefyudov was talking about. He likes this queen takes d4, bishop takes d4, rook down to the 7th probably. You know, that looks like. But now white, I think white stands a little bit better here. I don't know why I'm going with my f rook. I have a reason for this. Keeping a2 protected. He just like pre-moved. He never plays this fast. It's weird. Wow, just totally random fast moves. Queen g5, interesting move. Okay, his knight is basically trapped. Oh my gosh. You can't take the extra time with you. Yeah, I don't like queen d8 either. He didn't want to trade queens. He decided he didn't want to trade queens, so he's not going to trade queens. But there's no... Actually, I was working on this, whether to trade queens or not trade queens. Here's a really good book, which I recommend, guys. It's an old book. This is... I think I showed this before. From the middle game into the end game. This is by Edmars Mednes. It said... doesn't say... It said Mednes on it there. But Mednes has like all these positions where he talks about, you know, when you should trade queens, when not to trade queens, how to make the decision whether to go into the endgame or not. This is a book from the 80s, from like the early 80s. And I got it when I was a kid. But very instructive positions, you know. Should I trade queens when I have strong attacking chances? All these decisions need to be made based on many factors, like is your king safe? Now it looks like he's losing a piece because his knight has nowhere to go. Queen g5 was just impulsive. But Asterbate has been steadily improving. He had never played quite this fast against me, and I think his speed is getting better, but you can't go too far. If knight d2, rook d1, and his knight is falling, the sky is falling. And he has a bad bishop on b7. I mean, that's what I was hoping from the get-go. But Asterbate had tons of chances here earlier. And I can trade queens into the end game. Not the greatest structure, but I like trading queens here, eliminating the danger of any kind of accident happening. We're up a clear piece for 2 pawns. Should be easy. Pretty easy. Like, trading rooks here, I can't really avoid. Well, I mean, my king just invades. I don't think he can stop this. He could have set up like sort of tactics and tricks and stuff. Invading. Call me Maurice Ashley. It's too much now. I mean, he's going to lose the queen side, I think. My king is too active here. That drops this pawn. So now it's like he only has a pawn for a piece. He resigned. I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised Asterbate doesn't normally resign prematurely, but I think he should play this out, you know, for the instructive value. It's kind of early to resign. You know, I think that's weird. All right. S4 is up next. S4, thanks for donating 500 bits, 511 bits to the stream today. Asterbate, thanks for the game. A little too fast. You had, if you go back and you look at that game, you had very good chances. You kind of tricked me, or I tricked myself, and I got into an awkward situation, and you had very good chances there. Okay, the Sicilian again. Yeah, take the 7th rank with your rook, Asterbate. Trade the queens, take the 7th rank with your rook, and you're probably slightly better. Is that what Nefedov wanted as well? This is kind of a weird sideline that I've never really played, but I've had played against me. Move 11 probably likes this one. Should I play like knight f6 and let him take on b6, I wonder? It seems weird to compromise my pawn structure. I'm not going to do that. This is like equality. I mean, I think that black is equalized, but it's not very exciting. But I do get the queens off the board against an attacking player. I think I like my chances outplaying an attacking player who likes complications, taking him into, let's say, an equal endgame with black, rather than getting into his kind of position where I like lost yesterday in crazy complications. So it was you that Arsenal fan, all Nefedov said was go into the end game or something, you know what I mean? Like, play the equal end game. He made a comment like that, and I just assumed he was talking about that, you know, trading queens and going with rook to the 7th. I mean, what else is there, really? Acerbate too focused on ideas of like attacking, let's say, with the queens on the board. I don't know if it's an equal ending. I didn't look at it. I mean, I was thinking it's about equal, but black seems to have an almost initiative because he's getting the rook on the 7th rank. But I had the bishop pair at that point, so that might be kind of weird. What's going on around here? A5 is an interesting move. B4 almost looks like overextending. A5, B5, that could get kind of weird. Maybe I should just don't. Like Anatoly Line. Just don't. Bishop E6, knight C4, what am I doing? B6, interesting. Alright, B6. Just get a little bit of control over the dark squares. A little more control over their dark squares. Should trade it first time. We have like 30 seconds of lag. Well, delay, or whatever you want to call it. It's not really lag. A general comment is okay, yeah. I don't mind the general comments. You know. So everybody's challenging these long challenges. You guys can also challenge me to 5+3. It doesn't have to be the full 7+3, 5+5, 6+3. Don't feel like it's obligatory to play 7+3. 20-minute games feel kind of long. We used to do 8+3. Remember, guys? That's really long. So F4, S4 is just the master of overextending. That looks a little over the top, man. You're getting carried away here. A5? What's happening after A5, B5? Ugh. Yeah, I don't think I like that too much. This is kind of weird. It's very weird. It's hard to really get a handle on S4. Like, he plays a weird game. It's really aggressive and kind of feels almost random at times. Now I feel like I made a mistake. What about the E4 pawn, though? Is that E4 pawn just going to become a target? Pawn the... My C6 knight is in the way of stuff. Take, knight back to B8. That's pretty pathetic. B5 is a threat in some variations. I could sack the exchange. Just doesn't seem like I have quite enough compensation for sacking the exchange. Look at his score lately. Win, win, win. Loss, draw, draw, win. Loss, draw, loss, win. He's got close to 50% against me. That's an insane result. Okay, I don't know what to do. Rook c8 looks controversial, but it stops the fork. I'm going to let him take on f6. Okay, king d7. You know, I like the spirit of the move. Thinking about, you know, the king being an active piece in an endgame. But taking on d5, I mean, gives him massive space advantage. I could just die, you know. It would be like knight takes d5, pawn takes d5, knight b8, b5, like knight d4. Now my king belongs on e7, I think. Not d7, but e7, because this is really solidly protected, and we need to keep this protected. My rook ends up being in a good place. The only reason I feel remotely comfortable here is because of some weird g6 rouser games that I played, where the structure comes up in the g6 rouser. You know, it's not that bad. The ideas of b5 could happen. Knight takes b4. Base tactics. My knight can go... I can play a5 maybe. Open the a file. Good prophylactic move. Wow. All right. My knight is the missing link here, I think. It's really bad on c6. It just can't do anything. It gets in the way of the rook, gets in the way of the bishop. I have a pretty weird plan now. Apple juice after 9 p.m. Are you serious? You're not allowed to drink apple juice? Or beer? Or wine? Or mead? Uh-oh. What's this about? My name is what? Alright. This is not what I expected. It's almost like S4 can come up with the most random moves you can even imagine. Like, who would even consider F5? It seems entirely random. Rook G1. The Syrian NM. What's up, guys? Unfortunately, this is my only stream till Sunday. We had the week off. Whoever suggested Rook G1 is a genius. Obviously. Let's see. I need some play here. Accelerated Dragon player from way back. This was like an Accelerated Dragon. So this access to A4 gives us some chance. You double on the A file, get some fun going on. Fun time. Let's go. I have 2 rocks. Another one where that came from. So now, black might have some fun. Black's been fine for the longest of time. Yeah, now it looks like white is starting to worry. I didn't feel 100% fine. There was a lot of ways I could probably go wrong, but now we're all over him. Still, he's very dangerous, though. Okay. So how do we win now? And I don't know. I just don't know how to win. I mean, you could say I'm better, but the problem is F6. And then all hell breaks loose again. Like one of those classic... So take, rook F2, F6, every time F6. F6, 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 rook F2, F6, king E6, bishop H3, king E5, rook takes A1, king takes D4, and I'm still not better. This is ridiculous. I have no idea how to win. I'm just running out of time. I don't know how to win this position. Apparently I'm winning, but I have no clue. So it's like it has to do with that F2. I'm supposed to play rook here, king B3, rook F2. This is similar to what I was saying, F6, king E6, oh, king D8 or king E8, king D8. I missed this move. See, my problem is that I looked at king E8 and I thought rook takes D6, I'm going to lose this ending. Like the other day against Saul. It would be like rook takes D6, rook takes F1, rook takes F1, rook takes F1, something like that. But very unclear. I can play king D8, which I didn't consider. Even this is unclear. This might not even be winning. So it's difficult to say. What am I winning? Like, it's the computer's like, yeah, it's winning, but then it changes its mind, you know. I mean, I looked at this, seriously looked at this. You know, bishop h3 check, king e5, rook takes a1 here. But I'm concerned I'm going to lose because these pawns can all fall when this comes down on the 7th. Like, he'll just eat everything. Maybe he's in some sort of mating net, but I don't see it. All right, anyway, crazy game. Good draw. Okay, now, who do we have for subscribers here? Juicebox Wizard is up. Juicebox, I hope you're ready to play because you're the next subscriber on our Monday challenge stream. What is up, man? Move 11 will be next. You were completely in trouble. Well, no doubt. I was happy to not be worse. I mean, and then you let it... Well, it seemed like it was totally out of control. I'm almost winning, but luckily I didn't have any time left. And even then, like, it wasn't like I had a clear win, it looks like. So you're, like, kind of fortunate that I wasn't clearly winning. All right, Juicebox Wizard, where is... I have to move first? Oh, are you serious? All right, let's play e4. He was prepared. What's up, guys? Oriental. All right. Juicebox, let's go. What are we going to do here? I don't really play the close Sicilian very often. Chi. It's, like, really sketchy. You know, that ending. I don't know if I had any win, you know, for sure. This is a weird line. It's not a normal hyper-accelerated dragon. Because, like, I've played knight c3, not knight f3. I don't know much about this. I remember, like, looking at it. Oh, man, he's dropping a rook. I'm gonna offer take back here. He took the take back. Take your time, Juicebox. You've got to defend the rook on h8. And I'll give you a hint, like, your position is fine. That's a good joke, Arsenal. Very good joke. And anyone who appreciates Ancient Aliens will enjoy it as well. So f6. I think you have to play like knight f6. The f6 is kind of sketchy. That's... They're all stars, get it? No, f6 is weak. It's slow. You're playing like a pretty sketchy line. I mean, in the other position with my knight on f3, the Spanish Grandmaster Belen Lopez has played this, but it's totally dubious for black. That guy is crazy to do that. Some old games. Why be serious? Bellon just liked to just push the envelope and just play crazy stuff and handicap himself. And we've all done that. At least I've done it in Blitz and stuff, to like purposely play dubious openings to make it more fun. That's why I have the Weird Wednesday stream. Knight f6 scared him because of e5, but it's actually not dangerous, I think. After knight f6, e5, knight c6, and there are tricks. All right, we'll play like, what would Steinitz do 100 years ago if he were to play this position with white? The Ancient Aliens. Sirius. That's where the Dagon people came from, right? I know my Ancient Aliens. Come on. Dagon. No, that's like Lovecraft. Doggone. Panda, what's up, man? So, guys, I will not be here Tuesday through Friday, and Saturday is my day off. So I'm lucky. I have all week off, and we'll be back with a Sunday simul stream. That will be the next stream. I'm pretty sure Steinitz would go for f4. I think he would approve of that move. We want to get the knight behind the pawn. I like that. And I like just not committing to castling yet, just because I can. You know, keep him guessing as long as possible. This is... I may have had a stronger move there, okay, actually. Maybe I missed the boat. But he could play d5, actually. I'm saying actually too much. Yeah, okay. So if you play knight b5, you're just kind of going for this cheap shot. Mate. Smothered mate. Black obviously plays d5. And I think he might be okay there. Maybe not, because I might have some weird stuff with bishop c5. But anyways, I'm adhering to principles, let's say. I'm adhering to principles. That's the important thing. Trading queens. Juicebox Wizard is a player who likes, I think he likes crazy complications more. You know, I'm not sure he's going to be happy to like allow a trade of queens. What are his other options here, though? This setup is dubious. He can't get his bishop out. Poor harmony there with the bishop. It all started with f6. It's like a domino effect. Arsenal said he quite liked e5 for black, but in what moment? In what moment, Arsenal? Like instead of, you mean like right away? Well, you've got the d5. There's no easy answer once you got here to the situation. Okay, Juicebox played bishop g7. Probably a good move under the circumstances. Sacrificing a pawn, it appears. JCS, I don't know. Is JCS in the challenge list? No. I've got Move 11, our next subscriber, and then Nefidov, and then we'll play the non-subscribers. Spectre 7, I don't play rated, so please, and you don't have to play 7 plus 3, guys. It's anything between 5 plus 3 and 7 plus 3. If you challenge me to faster, we can play more games. It's optional. Anything between 5 plus 3 and 7 plus 3. JCS says he have sent a challenge. I don't see it. So Spectre, please re-challenge me to casual. I can win a pawn here, but I'm hesitating because I'm looking for better. You know, winning this pawn on d5 like kind of frees his stuff, frees his pieces, I would say. Doesn't really look like I have an option. Panda, you guys can guess what Panda wants to play. But I don't know, h4... h4 looks kind of slow, honestly. Bishop c5, maybe. Bishop c5, pawn takes pawn, knight takes. That looks really good. Bishop c5, b6, bishop a3. Alright, let's give it a try. Something creative. I refuse to be materialistic. King b1. I mean, that's a normal Sicilian move, but black's just nowhere near any kind of serious counterplay yet. So king b1 is, you know, that's a fraidy cat. In my game, you were at some point -6, and according with engine evaluation, I was winning by -6. Yeah, he takes d5 is greedy. It wins a pawn, but it kind of lets him trade a lot of stuff, and he can develop a tempo with like bishop e6. I wasn't sure. I just kind of want something more here. There's more than material to life, you know. Cue up the Madonna 80s song. Material girl. I'm not a material girl, you know. I like the pressure. Keeping the pressure. Not cashing in. Sladgy, bishop b5, then capturing on d5 if a6. That's an interesting idea. Also, another move that brings kind of increases the pressure to some degree. I didn't really have the forethought, Arsenal fan, to Yeah, I mean, actually, Arsenal fan, bishop e5 if a6, maybe just bishop a4. And if b5, then like bishop b3, and I've got even more pressure on him. But you may be right. Some combination of taking on d5 and like bishop a4, bishop b3, Arsenal fan. That's also very interesting. So I had no intention of trading this guy. I just wanted to create some menace. My friend from Romania, Alexandru Manea, he always says, "What do you menace? What do you menace?" So I'm menacing something here. I'm menacing black's position. Here we go again with knight b5. I hope it works this time. Alexandru, wherever you are. Let's hope it works. Alexandru speaks French very well, and I think that menace is probably a word that's more commonly used in French in that kind of way. But his concept of constantly thinking about menacing things is a very strong idea. The idea of forcing moves is important to Alexandru's game. Juicebox Wizard just blundered. Threat equals menace. Correct. Technically correct. What do you threaten? So we should teach him to say, what do you threaten? What are you menacing? Gobbled a piece up. But I'm not going to give him another take back. Juicebox Wizard already had his take back for the game. Now I'm just merciless. Now we're in merciless mode. King b1 comes to mind. Maybe. Alright. We've done our damage and now we just evacuate. Just evacuate. Everything's protected. Good, 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 good. Well, we could go back in again, but I feel a little weird about that. Bishop d6 is not so secure. I don't want to drop my f4 pawn with check, too. That's pretty nasty. I'm a little worried about this, but he's pinned. You know, he is really, really, really pinned. I guess I can chase his queen off that diagonal, and then even exchange on e7 if I have to, no problem. Then there's a bird outside the window going nuts. He's like, chirp, 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 chirp. Alright, bird. That's enough, bird. Bird is the word. Is that like from Sesame Street or something? What's the word, bird? Larry Bird. My games are psychologically difficult to deal with. I agree, man. Now we've got to play for Mott. Mott. There's no Mott? It's so close to Mott. Alright, we'll be fancy. This is a little too fancy. I'm sacrificing a piece for like 2 pawns to open him up, though. I mean, I'm already up material. This has got to be good. Now, that's not good for black. I mean, he's committing. Kiri. It's still not mate, but we've got tons of stuff. Those bishops are maximum. Bishopus maximus. He's had enough. Okay, good game, Juicebox. Thanks for playing. Move 11's up next. Move 11, another faithful subscriber here to the stream. It's funny, I asked the bird to stop, and he stopped. That was weird. All right, move 11. What's up? All right, e4. Let's try something that might throw move 11 off. You're talking about material? StarCraft Gecko. When you make this comment, my parents never let me have stuff. Maybe that's why I like it so much in chess. You're materialistic because your parents never let you have stuff. It's yeah, you should go to small claims court and try to take them to court over it. That guy who never moved out of his parents' house that was in the news refused to. He was like 30 years old, refused to move out of his parents' house. It'll be like that. So having this discussion with one of my students this week about this position, and International Master David Vigorito yesterday, we concluded that G6 is the best move. Bishop G4 is not so good. I used to play that all the time, but it's just bad. So we have to play G6 here. And, Vigorito was telling me that Alexander Shabalov had won a bunch of games with black in this line because he bought some book. He just, buy a 2300 or something. It's funny to imagine that a grandmaster would, win games because he bought a book about an opening authored by, a 2300. But it's possible. I mean, if someone does their research really well, it doesn't matter what your rating is. I mean, if you really do the research well, you can put together a great book. Ouch, my neck cracked again. Oh, you know the NM who wrote it. Okay. Yeah, Shaba attributes winning a bunch of games to that, So, all I know is this is probably one of White's best ways to play, going with this queen d2 and not wasting time with h3 and all that stuff. If I play knight g4, let's take a look though. I mean, knight to g4, bishop g5, and then what do I do? My whole position looks stupid. I need to read the book, obviously. Well, it's like a 150 attack. It's just a 150 attack where I played knight c6, right? Isn't that what this is, effectively? Yes, answer your own questions. All right. Let the democratic process decide. We don't have it in our government, so we should at least adhere to it here in the stream. Queen d2 castles, bishop g4. Yeah, this is a good idea. Queen d2. Maybe I can play e5. Don't like e5 either. I keep forgetting who I'm playing. I'm playing move 11. What does my opponent, have to do with it? Well, different players like different types of positions. I ought to think about, what kind of... well, I mean, if you have an offensive handle, like I like murdering people or something, I mean, probably that's enough reason to ban them. You have to draw the line somewhere. They don't have to say anything, So e5... I don't like e5. I don't really like anything here. Damn. Alright, going with a6. Critical. After deep thoughts, I came up with a6. Now bishop g4 I might like a little bit more, somehow. Maybe weird to do that, though. Alright, I gotta make a decision. I'm not sure about this. a6 and bishop g4. That seems really weird. Together. Yeah, I mean, the plan is to play b5 most often. Then I played bishop g4. That's sort of strange. It would be much more normal to do something like rook b8, then play bishop g4. The truth is that bishop g4 is probably just a bad move. That's the truth. With the user, a good point from Saul though. With the user we'll probably never see again. It doesn't really matter. Okay, now what am I doing? b5. All right. b5 e5. b5 d5. It seems weird to play bishop g4. That move had nothing to do with the other plans. I feel very bad about playing bishop g4. If I take, he takes the bishop. I don't like this. Move 11 is better here. Played this really well. This is like one of my first games, excuses, ever playing this type of setup. I think my position is sort of strategically dubious. The fact that I've given up my good bishop, my white squared bishop, and then played b5 and a6, I could just hear myself criticizing one of you guys. If you played like this, I say, well, your bishop probably should be on b7 right about now, where it's like securing these white squares, and I'd love to have it back and put it on b7 right now. Anyway, guys, thanks for your support. Thanks for subscribing. Saul 511 bits today. Astrobate 49. Much appreciated, guys. The stream will be down for a few days, bringing the family across the ocean here with me. I've been solo the last month or so, but our streams will remain 5 days a week from the following week. I'm going to be back on Sunday with another Sunday Simul, same time. Okay, now the moment of truth. Move 11. I can't speak. Move 11 here pulls the trigger on d5. It makes you want to play knight d4. I'm in, man. I'm all in. I'm not all in. I'm raising you a pawn. I raise you a pawn. I see your d5 and raise you a pawn. I'm just going to pretend I'm like Jan Timman in an f3 King's Indian or something. All right. Now there, you know, you have an alternative. You could play knight e2. But we'll always have compensazione here. Always. Opposite B in attacking position. Night and day. I mean, yesterday we had a minor scandal about the blacklist. But again, chess is black and white. You know, we don't have to make everything about race. But this, you know, this black is better than white here. I mean, there's no question. In this position, black is absolutely beautiful. He played e5. And this, I think, is just hope chess. It just looks like hope chess. Don't I just like go knight d7 anyway? And he's not really accomplishing anything by playing e5. Maybe he feels he is. Maybe he's giving his pieces an additional square they wouldn't have otherwise, giving this pawn back. So, we're good to go. Now we're not only equal, we're probably better. I was thirsty. This was a good beer. And Sam Adams, you guys want to help me get a beer sponsorship for the stream? I think we should do it. Bishop h6, good response to knight to d4. Okay, I didn't answer that question. Didn't cross my mind. It did not cross my mind, Arsenal fan. I don't think so. You know, I really think that he's trading. I mean, it's not horrible, but you're trading either way. You know, I think either way is like a bad decision. Maybe he should play knight e2, Arsenal fan. Something like knight e2. And just challenge my knight with his knight, you know? And try to get me to take on f3, because that's a pawn anyway. Once I did bishop h6 against, like, Vadim Milov, and I was like, my god, what am I doing? You know, I'm like, trading my good bishop for his bad bishop. Just because he's a 2600 Grandmaster. I was like, alright, I'll trade pieces with no plan, you know? It's Willer time. Knight e2 possible because of that pawn on f3. Pawn the... Hey. Hey, what's up? How do you like that pawn on f3? Nice pawn, man. Hey, how about h4? Oh! There it is! The h4! Triple exclam! I knew Ponda would inspire him to play h4. You just had to know it was coming. Alright. It's a blitz game now. Ponda's favorite move in chess is h4. But the dragon bishop, I just don't see an attack here. You are bluffing me. And we're just so compact here. I hate this move. Why did I do that? I'm losing my mind. Alright. I just should be like flogged. Self-immolated. I mean, why would I take that just to damage his structure? I feel so gross and dirty for playing knight takes f3. I was making fun of his bishop, then I take it off. I mean, this is like crushing. Come on now. Knight c4 just wins by force. What am I doing? Knight c4 is just over. It's like knight takes c4, knight takes b2, resigns. I mean, come on. h4. This is gross. Don't do that ever. Knight c4, take the pawn, game over, resigns. He has queen f4. Maybe move 11 could put up some resistance with that queen f4. I don't know. All right. I'm just better. But I feel really, really ill for playing like knight takes f3. It's a terrible move. I mean, he had queen f4 though. He might have had that resource for reals. I'm just making random moves now. I'm reduced to just making utterly random moves. I have to stop and forget about trying to win directly, because he always has this. Queen f5, totally stupid move. I just make one bad move after another. I mean, it makes some sense, I guess. I mean, what am I even doing here? Silence is golden. It's just a game. I'm still better, probably. I certainly could have played this much, much better than I played. Difficult for white to generate threats. What are we up to exchange? Probably winning. Just too active here. Okay, move 11 is not giving up without a fight. Okay, we want that pawn while we can get it. Pawned. Yeah, it's just a mop-up operation. Wow, that was intense. I want to see the opening if I did anything even close to the way it should be played. Quickly, I don't want to hold up the other games, but this is kind of an important variation. So it looks like bishop e3. To me, it seems like a good move. I don't understand here. I mean, h3 is lame. Bishop e2 is lame. d5 is interesting. Bishop b5. To me, it's lame. I think that bishop e3 doesn't have a good score because of the sample size. Solely because of the sample size. This should be a good move for white. And now bishop g7. So here's interesting. The engine's actually suggesting a6 here. And we'll have to check this book but that I mentioned. But it may well be in black's best interest not to bother to play bishop g7. You know, seriously. a6, a very interesting move there. Berkish lost the game in 2016. h3 is logical, believe me. I play it for white, you know, arsenal. But I know that it's like also limiting. Queen d2, so here, castles. a6, it's not a TN, but it looks slow. Bishop g4 has been played a lot. 9 games. You should just castle, I guess. Just castle. Bishop h6, I would assume. Let's say. And then you can play e5. And here we've got some real games. Karyak and the Pomniachi. Alright. So I guess we just have to bite the bullet and castle and go into it. Alright. Who's a subscriber? Jacob Nefidov. And then we'll go on and try to play a couple more games with non-subscribers. Alright, what are we at? An hour and a half into the stream. We've got an hour remaining of stream time. But it's Smearin play. I didn't see that. That's an important question. I didn't see Smearin in there. Of course, anything that involves the kingside fianchetto is probably good to see what Ilya played. Smirn is very strong in the modern. Modern, Grunfeld. Anything with a g7 bishop. Okay, c4, e6. I actually have a correspondence game going with JCS, one of our subscribers, and it's a Queen's Gambit declined, right? What can we do? He plays the Catalan with white. I think I played bishop f4 in our correspondence game, but I don't know that theory too much. Of course, h3 is a standard idea, but I just judge by the lack of success of my own games. I do it all the time in those kind of positions with white, and I feel like it's too much halfway measure. Knight c6. My knight was already on c6. I played knight c6 on move 1. Alright, so what's this, Jacob? The Kramnik? Jacob's playing the Kramnik defense. I was talking about this the other day. Very annoying line. We'll play a sort of exchange variation, maybe. Now what do? You take with a queen or with a knight? This is really boring. I don't think I want to play this in a tournament game. Gotta find something more dynamic for white. I don't normally play c takes d. I thought he would take back with the pawn and I could transpose to an exchange variation, but he didn't. That's a weird line, like people playing h6 in the exchange variation. One of my Hungarian team championship teammates is like playing that and he loses every time he plays it. Like, what are you doing? Like, why do you have to play h6 because it was recommended in some book? Saul, thanks for the game. Thanks for the bit donations. Solid game. Nice to survive that, though. Got a little out of control. This line is very, very solid for black. Yeah, man. It's ridiculous. It's enough to make you stop playing bishop 8. Kramnik is just doing this h6. And it's good for a draw. I mean, you could never win with black unless white does something crazy. But if you're, like, trying to draw a strong player, I mean, it's almost impossible for white to get an advantage. It's like h6 followed by c5. I think the main idea is like h6, bishop h4, castles, and then like rook c1, c5. You just do it anyway. Like, it looks like it's wrong, but Capablanca would have freaked out. So queen e7. It's similar to the Tartakover, but he hasn't played b6. It's like a hybrid. It's similar to the Tartakover. It's similar to the Orthodox variation. But there's no c6. Yeah, Kramnik is so solid. I mean, he's playing the Petrov with black. No, wait. What am I talking about? Well, he did at one point, but no. Kramnik's not playing the Petrov. Caruana's playing the Petrov. Kramnik plays this. Yeah, but Kramnik is so solid, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's extremely tough to deal with. Boring land. I guess white has some symbolic advantage here. Just that he's traded 2 sets of pieces already, which makes it difficult. And we don't have much to work with. So Arsenal started playing the Petrov. The problem with the Petrov, and it's a serious problem, although not for Caruana apparently. He had that crazy game with Kramnik in the World Cup, or what? No, sorry. What was the tournament? The Candidates tournament. He had that crazy game with Kramnik where it just got out of control, crazy, complicated, in a Queen E2, trade the Queens variation of the Petrov. But you know, it felt like both players sort of wanted that to happen somehow. You know, it's like can't happen if the one player doesn't want to let it get complicated. Against Nefedov, you know, it would be very hard to get him. Nefedov. All right, one of our subscribers, Pavel. He's next up. It'd be hard to get him in a sharp position from the Queen E2 Petrov. You really can't play the Petrov with the win against low-rated players. You just have to accept that. You can't do it. You know, it's just not realistic. You just can't. Unless they're really crazy guys, and then it's possible. So now knight b6. Awkward knight, but it can rebound to d5, and he's also coming with rook d8. Or even bishop d7. So my bishop's pretty weird on b5. Speaking of weird pieces. Arsenal fan says, I wonder if rook c7 is an idea next move. Yeah. I want to get a rook on the 7th. But queen c5, I don't know. Feels like this is just not enough. Silence, I'm thinking. That sound of silence when I'm thinking, it's pretty classic. Well, we can't let him just do whatever he wants here. Ridiculously solid play by black. Man. We've got this itty-bitty advantage. Almost nothing. It's like playing Kramnik himself. Gosh. Where do I go? Where do you go? Where do you go? Here? Yeah. Totally. Can we do anything here with this bishop versus knight? No rook in the game? Good idea. Alright. b4. It's kind of weakening. His king's coming to the center. How about my rook? Alright, b4, f4. Various combinations of moves to take advantage of some squares he could occupy. Take away his knight's best squares. I mean, a lot of people just robotically play like rook c1. But I don't think that's the most testing. Yeah, Dorfman has this book on chess strategy from years ago, and that was the concept, the tandems of pieces. So rook and bishop is supposed to be better than rook and knight. We shouldn't trade rooks. We should try to use our rook and bishop tandem to our advantage, you know. Pure bishop versus knight is probably like a dead draw. And my bishop controls the white squares, and my knight, my pawns control the dark squares. So it's like a teamwork. I mean, I wouldn't want to be with black against like a really, really strong endgame specialist. Queen and knight, of course. Yeah, queen and knight is the key. That's the best combination. Queen and knight versus queen and bishop. Often very tough. Queen and knight, because the queen and knight are the only pieces that don't work like each other, you know. I agree, infinite flash chess. Definitely. And there's pawns on both sides of the board. I mean, the bishop is... And plus, he's got these pawns fixed on white squares. A bunch of pawns fixed on white squares. Those are not really vulnerable, but b7 could be. You know, he can't play b6 because he drops his a6 pawn, for example. So what's up? Is he threatening something? Are you threatening me? a4. He is getting into time pressure now. And maybe we have a5, b5. This I missed. So he can trade. But he's still a tiny bit worse. I don't know which way I should capture there. Looks like it's winning now. Yeah, obviously. I mean, any king and pawn in game should be lost. Should never trade rooks. Really tough game. Ponda's watching. I never moved my H pawn. Alright, tough game, Jacob. Nice fight. But he won by resigning. All right. Celebrity death match. Who's up? Nefedov now. Our last subscriber challenge of the day. Thanks again to Saul for 610 bits donated today. Acerbate with 49. If you guys donate any amount, you get football emotes. Thank you to Saul for that. Nefedov with E4. No Petrov. Tough game, JCS. Good fight. No, no, no. What do we got against the Karo Khan again? What does he do? He plays the main line. We haven't played a Karo Khan against him in a long time. Let's see. So, I wonder what he does. I don't know the theory too well, but let's try this. I never had great results in this line. Used to play it years and years and years and years ago when I first became a national master. Actually, probably even before that, when I was a national expert. Bishop c4. So, I guess I have to play bishop f5 against that. Now, the first time, if I recall, I played this against Nefedov, he seemed like he was kind of not that well prepared. But he probably went and looked it up and is better prepared now. Karo-Khan Crusher. Acerbate was excited. I explained to him what the hillbilly attack is. National expert. Well, he usually plays knight f3, g3. Well, you know, I mean, yeah. So Joel Benjamin beat me like that. My first ever good result in a Swiss system. I was like 3.5 out of 4. Or, no, I was 3 out of 3, and I lost to Joel in this open where I was leading the tournament. I played the GF Caro against him. Probably not a great idea when he was like 300 rating points higher than me. He just played like knight f3, g3. But strategy have been worked out, you know, against that. It's not so simple. Okay, bishop f4. This might be Karpov-Miles, like one of those two games that Karpov lost. Again, I mean, yeah, Karpov lost against Miles only twice out of like 1 million games. He lost like 2 out of 12 or something, and that was one of them. But Karpov, this is very rare. I mean, people don't normally play bishop f4, bishop c4. I guess Karpov was caught kind of off guard because that was in like the early 80s or late 70s. I don't know. Early 80s probably. And Karpov just, you know, people don't play the GF Karo-Khan, especially against Karpov. So he just wasn't really well prepared. Not a very exciting position here. I don't know what I should do. I mean, c3 is a very solid move. I hate to trade his bad bishop off. His bad bishop. But I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do here. You just have to equalize before you can play for a win. I don't know. JCS, that's a good question. Should you take with the queen or the knight there? I mean, the truth is probably both are okay. Maybe we can beat Nefedov on time. We take him out with the clock because the position is just so solid for white. Knight e2, very natural, not allowing any kind of pins. He can play knight g3. This looks pretty standard for this relatively obscure variation. Knight g3, bishop g6, Ponda. Hey, you wouldn't do it, would you? Hey, Nefedov. Nefedov? Are your kids there? Do they like the panda? How do they feel about you, you know, playing h4 with your king in the center? Would you do a thing like that? You know, typically when you go knight g3 in these sort of caros, you're going to be playing like h4. There are other lines very similar to this, but here he's played c3. He can't really castle queenside safely, so I'm not sure if he wants to go for that. Well, it's not that boring. We do have the nice double pawns here. It's more boring. It's like Animal Farm. Some animals are more equal than others. Some structures are more boring than others. I mean, White's is a little more boring, but maybe that's good for him. I don't know. Saltigo, you have to cut it short. All right, man. So we'll be back with the simulstream. Simulstream on Sunday, Saltigo. Thanks so much for your help moderating, as always, and everything with the Discord channel. And how could you Animal Farm? Come on. Dude. The greatest books of all time. Alright, we're castling queenside. Saltigo, thanks so much, man. Have a great week. We'll be back on Sunday. Navidov. Oh my. No. He's castling queenside. Yeah. He's not afraid. Fearless. He's known to be fearless. Feared and fearless. Yeah, I mean, he just trades queens. If I play queen f4 check, there's nothing there. But we have other ideas for people like you. Going with our other ideas. We have the Classico here. Going for his bishop. And then we'll go with the whammy. If we can land the whammy on f4. Is anyone here old enough to know that game show with whammies? Acerbate, do you remember this? This game show? No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Look at this. Multi weaknesses. Oh no. Nefedov with a secret move. Man, Nefedov coming up with craziness here. Oh. I'm going to make like Mr. Bean noises soon. There's got to be a tactic. Oh, that's Mr. Bean. Queen f4, knight d2. Teddy. Queen f5 with no threat. Oh, Nefedov is toast here. Alright. Press your luck. Yeah, that was it. Good call, Juicebox Wizard. I didn't think you were old enough to remember that. Darn it. We're so close, yet so far away. I even saw like an oasis in the desert. Oh, man. I'm so sad. Like, I don't have anything. I was really excited with game show references and everything, and now I'm just... Now I'm just bummed out. Totally. I'm just totally bummed out. I gotta play Queen d6 and try to hit him with... Try to hit him with Knight f4. We're just gonna try to come in here. But obviously, it just goes G3. No. He let me do it. F it off. He let me do it. No. It's mate. Oh man, that was a cheapo. I'm sorry. I feel kind of dirty. That was wrong. I mean, he just stopped. He just has knight c4 here, and it's like a draw by rep or something. He might even have better. Yeah. This was nothing but a cheapo. I feel kind of dirty, but I didn't have a better move, I think. Computer disagrees, though. It thinks I should break with e5. Yeah, it just says I'm slightly better. F it up will say. Another game with 15 cent upon loss. No mistakes, no inaccuracies. I have 13 cent upon loss. 16. 16 is pretty high with no inaccuracies, no mistakes, no blunders. Does that mean that the opening is inherently bad? The opening must be bad if I have 16 cent upon loss with no mistakes. His advantage is like +1. +1? Isn't that a little excessive? So apparently e6 is just bad. I'm not supposed to do that. Miles Karpov must have been like queen b6. Karpov Miles, but it's not in there. It would be in there. I would think it would be in there. William Watson. How do you have 2 games in the database in this variation? Alright guys, let's move on. So I feel kind of cheap. Cheapo artist. Wubba Dubba Lub Lub's up next. Are we all out of subscribers? We're all out of subscribers. I'm not playing 10-0. That's no time for commentary. Till move 13, it's an actual game. No surprise. I mean, it's very logical play, right? You played a little too passively after my e6. After move 13? Yeah. Some Indian players from 96. That's funny. Yeah, so I'm just a tiny bit better here. It's not really enough. There's no follow-up. See, my problem was that I thought I had queen f5. My plan was queen f5 and then g3, bishop h5, but I realized you just have f3, and I'm just I have nothing. Like, I can't do that, so. Alright, we've got time for no more games. No. We have time for like 2 more games at least. It's 12:30 in Hungary. It is. Okay, my family's flying tomorrow from Budapest to Boston. They're asleep in their beds. Okay, let's go. Wubba Dubba Wub Wub. 3 men in a tub. Make me a cheapo. Wubba Dubba Lub Lub. Maybe he gave up. No, he was just in the stream saying it's 12:30 in Hungary. Come on, man. Where are you? Your big chance. He's been waiting forever. There's some new people. Jubu Plotkin. Drakenwolver. That's cool. No, I just, yeah, with random people. Tamalier asks weird questions. I wouldn't be like talking about like my family coming over if I wasn't connected to them. All right, Wubba Dubba Lub Lub. I don't know. He's not here, so here he is. All right, let's play. Dimitri. All right, I have one more game after this at least. Lichess logged you out. So what are we gonna do? Play the Alekhine's defense? Alyokhin. Alyokhin. I don't remember what I've played against Wubba. Probably at this point a lot of different stuff. He's playing knight c3 though. Any more weird questions? Do you live with the uncle of your aunt's brother's cousin's third most bestest friend from from their college fraternity? All right. D5. Let's go. Faster. Speaking of weird questions. Uh-oh. F3. Now we just have like what is that? The Damiano defense reversed. E4, E5, F3, knight F6, knight C3, D5. Anytime you play F3, that's got to be good for me. Now we have the advantage probably. I mean, after F3, despite being a move down, you weakened your king side. There's lots of reasonable lines here. I mean, most players take, but E5 is also very interesting for white. I mean, maybe that line is kind of drawish, but very few people want to draw when they play Alyokhin's defense. Nefedov, how's my Alyokhin now? I was very sad yesterday. You said that my Alyokhin's defense pronunciation has been slacking. Uh-oh. This could get kind of sharp. Wubba is playing like Juicebox Wizard. This is totally a Juicebox Wizard variation. It's totally looks like one of his ideas. Alright, so it's like a Ponziani. I guess I can play C5. C5, D4 is one idea. Juicebox, you know you've done stuff like this before. F3 and knight C3 combined together. That's totally you. How long have I been doing these streams? It's over 2 years now. We try to stream as regularly as possible. We've got that. I've got to get up to 75, guys. Am I going to Hastings this year? Arsenal fan, my schedule is very, very much up in the air. You never know where I might show up. I might be going back and forth from Hungary to the United States more often than usual, so I wouldn't rule it out, but that time looks... Hastings is more likely than San Francisco, I'll tell you that. Queen takes d4, knight c6, bishop b5, bishop d7. Let's just do it this way. I think c5 is also good, but then he has bishop b5 check, trading stuff there too. Of course f3 is dubious, but he's white, you know. You can afford to make one dubious move and still be okay. Someone asked me if I wanted to go to San Francisco for an international there, like in January. And I said no, because I'll probably be in Budapest. It's more likely I would go to Hastings than San Francisco. Let's see. Queen d1. So d4, now d4. The problem is now the structure's fixed. You know, it's going to be hard to break him down. He's going to be playing a very perverted sort of, what do you call it, dunst opening, you know, with like knight c3, knight e2. This is weird. Juicebox Wizard agrees. He says, I'm 100% sure I've played this opening. It looks like one of our other games that we saw a few months ago, Juicebox Wizard, I believe. But now the secret is I'm better developed, but there's no way to open the position, like sacking a piece. That's not sound. So what do? You know, bishop check, trade pieces. That seems kind of lame. Did I close it up too much to the point where it's like hard to even get an advantage? It's not easy. I'm just going to make a move here. Trading the dark squared bishops would highlight the weakness on the dark squares, I think. This is my justification for this. I have a situation where I have a little bit more space. I have to be a bit careful. And my plan may be flawed. I was thinking of queen d6 here, but I'm thinking that's lame. Queen d6 is interesting. Let's see. There. Yeah. It's getting pretty weird. I don't know about this. I think I might just have made a mistake. Mobilizing his pieces for him. Oh, man. I don't like this. I wanted to play queen d6, but he has c3 there. And that just looks like it might equalize. I can still play... I was looking at queen d6, c3, like bishop c5, b4, bishop b6, and then b5. And there's weird complications. Alright, well, we only live once. Yeah, but Arsenal fan, if you played c3 right away, I'll just take, and I'll have a better structure. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's maybe it was good. We'll see. We can check after the game. Guys, I have time for like one more game after this. If I don't get to play you, please don't take it personally. Ponda, Drakenwolver, Pawn Hurricane, Goo, and probably Dimitri. Yeah, so this was my big idea. I feel like I induced him to develop his pieces with like, I almost helped him a little bit. He has bishop f4 now. That's very disappointing. I almost have a tactic. I want to play queen e7. But I just don't think it's good enough. It sucks. What would I love is he's like 1300. He outplayed me here. Now I don't think I have enough to try to sack a pawn. He's probably equalized at least. Brilliant strategic play. Bishop f4 was good calculation. I almost had queen e7, but I was looking at pawn takes pawn and I couldn't make it work. This is really irritating. Now I lose a pawn. I guess I have compensation if he tries to win a pawn. That's about all I know. Knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, bishop takes c7, queen takes c7, queen takes d4, castles, and black should have really good reasonable compensation for the sacrificed pawn. But Lub didn't do that. He just played knight c3. Okay, he remains with a strong pawn here. And, but he's kind of letting me off the hook a little bit, I feel like. So, now his king is trapped in the center. My bishop's on c5. He has to be careful. You know, I have stuff. Knight h5. I wanted to get castles first. I want to get castles. But, I mean, knight c3 is okay if he's not getting fried, you know, tactically with some kind of shot. Knight h5 and queen h4. I have knight h5, bishop e3, knight c2 check, winning the bishop pair, for example. It's not so easy. Knight e2, knight h5. And I don't know, I have the stuff here. The stuff. There again, maybe he has bishop takes c7. Knight e2. Knight h5, bishop takes c7, queen takes c7. Okay, this is a weird move. I mean, he played e5. That's probably suicidal, you know? Nearly suicidal. Knight h5 or rook e8. Everything is good. Your whole position is like based on the power of that pawn. I mean, you push to e5, you're risking everything basically. I mean, even bishop f5 is close to a knockout. Very, very bad move. But which is the best? Knight h5, rook e8. It's all good. Maybe I made a blunder? Nah, this should be okay. I was pretty tame with the rook e8, but we still got lots of good fun. This just looks really good for black. He was okay until he played e5, and that's suicide. But bishop f5 I wasn't convinced by because he could play bishop d3. I mean, instead of rook e8. Bishop f5 there, it's not that clear. So now he's just dropping a rook. And everything. No mates. No, I don't see anything good other than just taking the rook. Nothing fancy. Yeah, all right. One last game after this, guys. Whoever's next. Knight e3 picks up the queen. He just... Oh, no, but the bishop was on f1. It doesn't, Arsenal fan. It doesn't pick up the queen. His bishop was on f1. I don't have knight takes g2 check. Yeah. No, it's just check. It's just check. It doesn't do anything. He melted down. I think he might have even had an advantage at one moment. Let's see. Just for a second when it's over. Is it possible white was better the way I played this? It's terrible after f3. If I was worse at some point, I would be really looking bad. Thanks for the message, Nefidov. Hang in there. The panda will be waiting to see you for next time. Cute mates. Always mate with a knight. Ah. But let's see. Let's see the opening. Okay, this is really bad. F3 is terrible. You know, this is not a good move. It's never been played before. He should play bishop b5. Probably. Queen d2, Magnus Carlsen. This is very close to a Magnus Carlsen, by the way. But it's not the Sicilian. You know, so we're good. Yeah, and so the question is, what should I do here? You know, the problem is if I play something like bishop c5, he has bishop d2, knight c1, knight d3. He can blockade the square d3 and kind of hang around, you know. So, Arsenal fan said c3. It looks like the engine agrees with you. To go into the ending where you have a strong center pawn, you sacrifice your structure, but yeah. Fair enough, you know. This ending is actually... Should I take with a knight? I don't know. This ending, I think... because white's strong pawn on e4, you know, he's okay. Knight takes. It's equal, I guess. Do I want to take that knight? Maybe not, you know. So now, looks like Arsenal is right. Bishop d2, and then I played this. Now c3. So apparently I missed something outright here. What the heck? D takes c3? What does that do? That's weird. D takes c3, bishop takes c3. Wow. Stockfish famous for this square, for the square c5. I never even considered this. So this is the secret move. Stockfish. Queen c5. Advantage to black. Alright guys, last game. Last game. White was better though, to answer my own question. He had b4. That was the line I talked about, the b4. Let's see what he did. Here. This is okay. Here. Well, the computer wants to win the pawn or what? Knight takes, okay. Bishop takes. BFD. The engine thinks that white has a serious advantage here. Serious. Uh-oh. Scary. Scary endgame. Okay, this isn't easy to see, but the engine is calculating this is better for white. Karpov. Strong pawn on e4. Queen's Gambit accepted. Yeah, could be. Good game. Good opening. After that f3. Okay, last game, guys, against Tamale. If he's still here, I'm going to play this. And then I'm off till Sunday. Yes. Thanks so much for the support, Saul and Acerbate. Everybody who's donated to the stream recently. You can also support the stream with donations via PayPal. Check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. That is where I upload all the streams. C3 Sicilian. Thanks again to Soltigo, our moderator. Queen c5 just hangs around, keeps him from castling, and you know, queen is on an active square. It didn't even pop in my head. Stockfish is always going queen c4, queen c5, queen f4, and queen f5. I've noticed this. It really has an understanding of when the queen belongs on those squares. Okay, queen c2 is some kind of like leaving book move. Passive, but okay. It's not a terrible move. If you want to play some kind of old Indian reversed type of thing, I mean, it's just a passive square for the queen. It's, you know, the same on c7 with black. I don't like to put my queen on c7 in the King's Indian, for example. I'd rather have it on e7 where it's like more centralized. If you play a structure like d3, it's going to be strangely placed. Now you may have some specific idea here. Bishop b5. So now if queen c7, our queens would like face off. And then he could play d4. It's like a trick. Queen c7, d4. C takes d4, c takes d4. Then I have check. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Queen c7, d4, take, queen a5, check, knight c3, knight takes d4. Oops. Okay, this is weird. I don't know about this. I don't feel right about putting my queen on c7. Yeah, I'm new to Twitter too. I don't do Twitter. Too easy to say something that you'll... Hey, Lou Barlow, what's up, man? Lou Barlow. I don't want to be part of Twitter. No, Twitch. New to Twitch. What's my favorite opening? I think the Sicilian defense against e4. That's my main thing with black. But more and more top players are playing like classical chess, e4, e5. Guys, we're just wrapping up the stream for this week. Actually, there's going to be no stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're back on Sunday with a simul on Sunday. It's going to be 4:30 p.m. EDT. So what's up here? He's got this weird thing going on with the queen c2. Okay, well, I'm going to call his bluff. I'm just going to take the bishop for the knight and let him do his worst. I think this is justified. We try to focus on instructive streams, not mindless bullet chess. Anyway, so bishop e2 going back, and now d4 is on again. On again, off again. But now I have time for d5, and I think that declares the center, and I don't want to get overrun here with d4 stuff. The a6, not the most useful move in the world. But, I mean, if he's threatening d4, I've got a problem. I've got to stop d4. I don't like e5. I'm playing this. It's like a c3 Sicilian. It's almost like a normal c3 Sicilian, is what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say here. It's a normal... He's got the queen on c2. I've got a6 in and queen on c7. It's normal, but it's not normal. We both have some strange inclusions. And we're not dentists. Alright. I don't understand why masters sit around playing bullet chess and hanging pieces against each other and how that is good for their game. There's nothing more boring than watching grandmasters like dropping pieces. When I see them doing it like in the Lichess TV or whatever, I'm like, hey, that's interesting. Really great. Now, I always thought like why we're bashing bullet chess. I always thought the thing with bullet chess was that it was a way for like strong players to play blitz without putting their ego on the line. Like they just basically could be like, oh yeah, it was just a bullet game, it doesn't matter, you know. So they could lose 100 games and kind of blow it off. All right, let's get that bishop outside the chain. Pichu didn't get to play. And we're closing down the stream. I gotta go, guys. I gotta cook dinner, and responsibilities await. So next stream will be Sunday. You know, I saw this move, and then I forgot about it. This is what freaked me out about playing bishop g4 in the first place, but it's okay. We're good. I could play knight f6 as well, actually. Maybe that's even better. I mean, I like my knight on d5 a lot, but it's not absolutely necessary. We're all playing on Lichess. France, Italy. Uh-oh. I can't believe Mexico won the other day. Not to diss Mexico, but... Alright, guys, enjoy the World Cup while at least you have the World Cup to watch while I'm not going to be streaming for the next 5 days. I will be back on Sunday. Be here. Simul, 25 players, 40-40 time control. Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Knight f6. Thinking you like pawns, do you? Feeling hungry. Yeah, that's not allowed. White's not really getting it going here. He's not developing his pieces. I'm better developed. My pieces are better spaced, better coordinated. Both knights out. I'm ready to castle. You know, it may look tempting to castle queenside, but I think that's a very risky thing to do. You know, we've got more coverage, pawn cover for the king on the king side. I could go back to d5 with my knight. It's actually interesting, but kind of weird. I don't want to trade for the sake of trading. I'd like to get an isolated pawn. I like to give him... I don't want to get an isolated pawn. I want to give him an isolated pawn. I can create a target. His queen on e3 is awkwardly placed. A bit more awkward than my queen on c7, for example. He's got problems with the fork on c2. This could be very serious. Knight takes d4. Okay, now... Well, if knight b4, he has knight a3. Okay, that's going to hold on. On the other hand, like knight a3 might be badly placed. Maybe not so bad. So, he's basically hanging around, and I want to get developed. I have bishop d6, and then h3, panda. Hey, you want me to play h5? You guys, you think we should close it down with an h5? Huh? Over there? Oh, h5? Seriously? h3, h5, bishop d6, h3, h5. Haha. Alright. That sounded too much like Beavis and Butthead, Panda. You can't laugh like MTV. Antique MTV stars. So bishop d6, h3, h5. It's like a queen's gambit. A psycho queen's gambit approach. It's the last game of the stream. I mean, I'm tempted, but it doesn't look too sound. I feel like I should just play something sound here. Why can't I just play rook d8? Try to snipe his pawn. I'll be materialistic. We're just trying to snipe his pawn. The idea was bishop h6 threatening bishop takes f3, bishop h2. This is what Panda wants me to do. Ponda, we call him. But h3, h5, you know, I'm just fishing and there's nothing clear there. So I think it's not really a principled approach. Ponda's extremely primitive. If you like to have fun, you know, that's one thing. So he's sacking the pawn. Okay, well, I'm in, you know. I'm in it to win it. I'm taking this pawn. I don't care. It's a central pawn. Bishop takes f3, knight takes d4, and there's no knight b5, there's no knight d5, there's no anything. No rook takes d4, I lose a rook to bishop takes d6 check. But here we're good. On the upside, white no longer has a weak pawn. There's something positive about it. Sometimes it's very freeing to just lose that weak pawn. And actually, in many cases, like, you really, you know, shouldn't hold on to it too tight. If you hold on it to it too tight, you run into problems. But all right, now we just have to do a quick. We have to do a quick, like, you know, is the stranger offering me candy here because it's poisoned, or is it really just winning a piece? Knight c2, queen a7. I mean, where is he going? It doesn't seem like he has anything here. But you have to make sure, you know, nothing in life is free, right? Take your time. He's actually dropping his knight as well. He doesn't know, he has no way to protect that. So that's it. b3, the losing move. He's got a pawn minus, but his bishops are living now, you know. If he played a heads-up move there, it's probably not so bad. I mean, bishop d1, you know. White is in the game. He's not toast. Even rook b1. I mean, maybe bishop d1 is passive, you know, but it does keep the pieces on the board. You're down a pawn, fight it out. You're still in the game after bishop d1. All right, guys, we're out. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching the Ponda and I. We'll be back on Fishing Pool Ponda. We'll be back on Sunday with a simul stream. Thanks for watching, subscribing. Thanks everyone for the donations and the bit donations. Saul today, great, and Acerbate. You guys are awesome. So for Ponda, myself, and Soltigo, we are out until Sunday. Have a great time watching the World Cup this week. You're welcome, guys, and I will see you Sunday. Bye-bye.